The beauty of an IC7610. Now, you're now looking at one of my favourite radios, and this one's going off to a VK2 mate of mine. And as you know, yes, we do have a few 7610s, and now and again one gets sold. This has got the new display in it. You can really tell, because when you look at this here, it's a lot more purpley than it is blue. All right, so that's one of the key things. But when you really have a good look, you can actually see a lot of the numbers. This on the older displays, sometimes it's like a dot matrix display. That's, you know, it's terrible to say it that way, but it honestly looks like, you know, an old printer did it. Anyway, this is just one beautiful radio, and I thought, apart from just giving you a quick once over before this goes out to a good mate of mine, and I use one of these as my remote. I have others here, and no one truly knows what I've got lying around the place. I know that, but oh boy. But anyway, you're all finding out slowly but surely that some madness went on in this location. Now, the previous owner, which is a good mate of mine, actually used a lot of noise reduction because he lives in an area where he deals with S7 noise and, you know, etc., etc. And surprisingly, he's in a country town, but that's the difference. When you're in the actual country town, you've got to put up with it. All right, so let's just have a look. I'm curious, and I'm going to do this test live, so warts and all. That already answers my question. Now, I'm at 113, minus 113 dBm, 0.5 of a microvolt, which is the standard, and that's really noise-free. Actually, I can take that down a bit. I could get it down. I'm still hearing that at about minus 116. But the true test I wanted to run for a mate of mine who is the 6 meter guru, and I've got to do the same on my let's go to 51.110. Now, who out there doesn't know who the king of 6 meter DX is? And you can put it in the comments file. I do. I know exactly who the king of DX is on 6 meters. I'll probably reveal it in a second because I won't be able to hold it back. Oh, look at that. 0.364. Steve, you were asking me the other day about the 7850 and 7851 series and all that, on how they are on 10 and 6, and I was able to tell you on 10 they're exceptional. I'll be interested to know how you go on your new IC. Am I letting the cat out the bag, Steve? I don't know. Okay, so let's get this story straight. Who is the king of 6 meter DX? Well, that's easy. He's been doing it since the 1970s. He's an old fart these days, but I'll tell you what, he's one of my best mates, and that is VK3 Oscar Tango. Steve, anyone that used to go to sleep with a speaker next to his head from the other room has got the best wife on the planet. There is no better wife than a wife that, no, there is, you know, and let me just say, she's only been putting up with him for about 50 years, so, you know, we call it the longest romance in history. And before I get on to this radio, let me just tell you what I value in life. I'm a man who got divorced after 23 years. I thought I had it all, and then I lost it all, and I was lucky enough to find Samantha, who took pity on me. But let me tell you, I good and proper mucked that up by being a dickhead and thinking that the world was my oyster and I could just travel and do whatever I wanted and be whoever I wanted to be and forget that I was married. And that was a really dumb mistake. Steve married 50 odd years and to the most beautiful woman. I had a story the other day. One of my clients, I don't mind saying it was Pete VK 3QI, and he's a good mate of mine as well, but he was sort of I was his client that day because I was down at Winton Raceway picking up an ultra beam antenna, and he said to me, you want to hear the most romantic thing that that you're ever going to hear? And it was the story of VK3OT chasing after his beautiful wife, and mate, he was a desperate man. He wanted this girl, and I'll tell you what, she had options because she's a gorgeous woman. Anyway, the good news is that Steve was successful, and 50 years later, blah blah blah. Anyway, so I tell you all this all because of the fact that Steve is 6 metre mad, and we're doing a test on 6 metres. And Steve, at 0.3 of a microvolt, I reckon I can get that down more. Let's have a look. When does it get noisy? 0.2, still hearing it nicely. Just minus 125, starting to get a bit. Whoops. I reckon if there was a signal there, you'd still hear it. When do we lose it? When do we lose it? Oh, hang on. I have to go here. Right, so now I'm going to have to come way up, aren't I? Oh, look at that. No way. We're down to the 0.05 of a microvolt. I can still hear that at minus 131. You can too. Have a listen. 131.2. Don't mind my clunky switch here. It does. And that is right on, hang on, 44 microvolt. I'll just put it right on 50. Right, there's 50 yeah, look, that's, but hang on. To be fair, let's take that preamp off. So, turn that down. So when we talk about 50 microvolt, we talk about S9 50 microvolt. What we don't talk about is preamp on, preamp off, just exactly, what we're running. Generally, as long as I see somewhere between S7 to even S10, I'm reasonably happy that the meter's somewhere in the area that's going to be fine. By the same token, a lot of controversy over this subject. Okay, so we know it receives really well on 6 meters. Hang on, let's turn that off. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Now, have we got tuner on? No, there's no tuner on. That's all right. Now, I'm not in PEP mode at the moment, or am I? Oh, I've left that battery on. I have to. You idiot. Oh, okay. Whoops. Jason will be watching this video and he'll go, "You idiot! Turn off the battery when you're not using it." Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Near enough. Because what have we got set? Hang on. I've got to look on this here. Sorry. Go to your multi 50 gain. No, we're good. Close enough, but hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1. Oh, hang on, my slug's out. I was just going to say it should be just a little bit more. Hang on. What have we got here in slugs? 2 to 30. Okay, 25 to 60. Now, Jason, this thing, it breaks my fingernails. Anyway, I've got to stop clipping them into place. Right, hello. Could be driving a little bit harder, to be honest, but let's have a look. Where is my... Oh, it's in the other room, I think. I would have liked a different slug for that. Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2. So let's go down to one of its bottom bands. Now, I did have the right slug for that in there. Hang on. I didn't lock that slug in last time either. Just lock that in properly. Sometimes you can get the slug. Be careful with your bird meters. You get them slightly off to the left or right, and it can be a problem. Just have a look here. Hello, 1 2. No. Hang about. Where have I got my switches in place here? Hang on. This is a new bird meter I'm playing with. Hang on, I've just got to fix something. I know what the problem is. I put a bloody 1,000 watt slug in there and wondered why the meter wasn't moving very much. I thought, the bloody new meter's died. It's the idiot putting the slug in. Hang on. My fault. I have killed my battery. Jason, you'll be laughing at me. One of the things you can't do with the PEP kits is leave this switch on. And I've left it on a couple of days. Jeez. So I'm going to have to get in there, put another 9 volt battery in. I was wondering why the readings were a little bit strange, and my other meter up here was reading fine. I thought, I seem about 20 watts down on this. I thought, it could be the slug, blah, blah, blah. No, it's the idiot beyond that. Anyway, these things do happen. All right. I was having a heart attack then. I really was, because I thought, why is the RF power down on 7 megs? And here it is. My previous owner, guess what call he had? And I've got to be honest, look at that. That's where it was. So I'm sitting there going, hello, going, what the... and didn't have to bleep that. See, that's the trick. You don't say it, and then you have to bleep it. No bleeping editing needed. But have a look. When you put it there, Hello, 1 2 1 1 2 3 4 5. This PEP meter's reading about 20 watts too high at the moment. I know for a fact it is. So 1 2 1 2. Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely got a lot of gain there. Yes. Okay. So that would be the reason that Dumbo here wasn't getting very much out of it. Beautiful radio, these things. Look, I'm not going to carry on too. I just wanted to put it on the bench and just do a quick video on it before it goes out to my mate in VK2. And it's a lovely radio. I'm in the wrong room at the moment to put an antenna on it, but I'm happy he's got one with the new display in it, because that's a key thing. If you own a 7610 and you're getting concerns with the display, I can only say that Mark Pivador over in Icom is there to help you. You know, talk to him, because look, I don't want to speak for him on what he'll do and what he won't do, but what I will say is that get rid of that. What I will say is that he will do his best to look after you and to make sure. I tell you what, much better than bloody Yaesu service. I am not happy with Yaesu at the moment. Seriously, stop buying Yaesu radios, guys. Unbelievable. Just not happy. Anyway, I'm not going to go into all the specifics, because, you know, every time you say something on a YouTube channel these days, you end up with a court case if you're not careful. So, you know, unfortunately, there's a lot of things I'd love to tell you. I just can't tell you. I'm not allowed to. Well, I suppose I'm allowed to. I'm just not stupid enough to, you know, to say too much. Now, remember, these are dual receivers, so you've got both sides. I've just actually bought the dual receiver up, so you'll see that, you know, you'll get the two sides of it come up, and very, very handy for split operation, doing a lot of things, of course. And you can pretty much leave that on 7 megs, go around. You can run split like you've got there, transmit one, oops, get rid of split. Obviously you could change main and sub like so. Lots of little, these radios, the reason I have one as a remote station is I can control everything this radio does off my iPad when I'm in hospital a lot of the time. So sometimes you don't even know. I'm in getting infusions, getting blood works, you know, sometimes I'm there, well, 3 times a day. I'm there for nearly 3 hours a day. So I won't go into that completely, but so it's starting to become, I'm on very good first name basis with some very pretty nurses. I keep telling Sam, watch out, you know, but then they sort of mention to her that I'm an old fart, and, you know, anyway. So lovely radio. Look, you know, so many versatile things that you can do from the front panel or from a remote. We've done a video before on, you know, how we muck around with the remote a bit, but yeah, these things are terrific, and you'll never regret it. 1 2 3 4 5, yeah, loads and loads and loads of output. Yeah. Even my monitor's not reading properly at the moment. Hello. I've got a little problem with my 2000 here, that its power reading's not correct at the moment. Pain in the ass, actually, because I love that monitor, but yeah, I've got 2 more coming. 2 more. They're going into 2 separate areas of the property here to hopefully get some stuff done. Anyway, as you can see, you can change a lot of different parts of this. You can broaden things out, change how they look. I won't give the game away too much for the buyer, but you'll have a lot of fun just, you know, going through all the different quick menus, and so much that you can do. It just really is a beautiful radio. There's all its menu functions, etc., and you can go in and, you know, look at all your audio functions, etc. Menu back to your scope. Don't you just love the 7610? If you're a Yaesu lover, you need to think seriously about maybe having a look at the other dark side of Icom. Oh, I'm going to get in big trouble for this. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I mean, you can set up different antennas to go on the dual antenna on the back of this, so you can just set that up, etc. But I like the scope function. I think I generally leave it on scope. Some people like to sort of have the scope and the audio functions going. Yeah, it's nice, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit boring. I'll just go with that there. Love it. Love that new display though. Love the new displays on them. They are really something to enjoy. And previous owners got this set at 2.8. Don't need to have it quite that wide. You can probably take that back to 2.4 or so. And once again, you know, it's fully flexible in everything you can do with these things. You just get in there, hit the filters and change them and I'm actually touching the wrong buttons there, but I did well then. Oh goodness. Anyway, I won't try and without an antenna, it's hard to show you a lot of these functions anyway out here. I'm going to get some antennas through here. We've just bought a new ultra beam to go up. It's going to feed into this room and also into the museum. I'm going to switch it between the 2 rooms, electronic switching, so that it can, at least we can sort of do some really practical tests out here and be a bit of fun. And yeah, all right, there you go. Love it. Beautiful radio. Hang on. I just wanted to show, mainly for my chap that's going to be owning this, what it does on 6 meters when I haven't got a bird meter with a dead battery. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah. So there's the 150 watt, 200 watt scale. So over 100 watts there. My meter's reading a bit high, so call that 100 watts. But yeah, and we're on SWR there, so you're not going to really see the meter there. So we just go over to power output and we should see 1 2 way over 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. If you haven't bought an IC7610, seriously, they're about to go up in price. My friend that's just bought this one is smart. He's super smart. He reads my adverts and he doesn't believe that they're all bullshit. He actually took notice of the fact that these radios are going up $300. Now what that translates to on a retail level with the discount dealer wars, etc., and there's another subject I'm not going to talk about. See, I'm staying out of court. Day after day, I can stay out of court more if I say less. Anyway, there is a lot of rumours afoot about lots of things right now, and I can't say a thing publicly. I have already had a phone call from a lawyer. So I am saying nothing. Anyway, that was actually quite a good phone call and he was quite a good guy. So that's all I can say on that matter. But yes, please be careful what you put in print. Be careful what you put in a voicemail these days. Don't talk about the dealers. There's nothing to be gained. Seriously, they'll sue you. So just, just so I can clarify something, our biggest loss in 32 years is Ross. I'm going to miss him, and maybe that's the reason I put a couple of things on Facebook that got me in trouble. But I clearly said, we've had a man for 32 years look after us, and let's respect that. Let's respect that so much. It's important. The work he did, heart and soul. He gave us the best pricing, gave us 5 years warranty with Theo Calandris. Good on you, Theo. And sorry, just a comment I made. I said Ross got us 5-year warranties. Well, the truth is, Ross was on the consumer side of that. Theo, who's a great mate of mine, and I should have put it in there, I just forgotten. Theo Calandris is one of the greatest people you'll ever meet. He is just a fantastic guy, and he was actually behind the Icom side of pushing for us to get 5-year warranties. So if you ever catch up with Theo, at one of these bikey bloody cafes with people on motorbikes, which he loves his bikes. By the way, I don't mean bikey. I mean bikey as in people that ride bikes, not bikies as in criminals. Buy him a coffee, because Theo did a fantastic job of making sure with Ross that we now have 5-year warranties on these things. So there you go. So even if you buy a ratty old IC7300 for whatever the price might be right now, and there's some good pricing out there. Let's not be silly about it. As a consumer, anyway, look after your dealer. So, but yeah, you're getting 5 years warranty on a radio that's let's call it $1,500. I don't know whether it's 16 or 15 or whatever it is. Doesn't matter really. Support the dealer that you like. Support the dealer that supports you. And if price is the only thing that's important to you, well, I get it. I've been in times of my life where I haven't had money either. So price was, and you ask Ross, was there ever a time I didn't push him for price? So, Mr. I'm so perfect and holier than thou, and I support my dealers. I don't think there was a time I ever bought anything, except for my IC7850, because I knew that there was not going to be $1, and if I even hinted at a discount, Ross would have found another buyer for that one. So no, I didn't on that one. But just about everything else, you know what? Our dealers have always been approachable. Our dealers have always been good people. And to the new dealers out there, whoever you may be, get out there and support your people. Get out there and make friends with us. We're good people. We're narky, we're short arms and deep pockets, all that stuff. Yeah, by the same token, we spend our money where we like to spend our money, if we've got a choice financially, and we spend our money with the cheapest if we haven't got a choice. So I don't know, that'll have to depend on the dealers how they work that out. All right, Well, this went a little bit longer. To my customer in VK2 that's going to look at this radio, you're going to say, you could have spent some of that bloody time showing this thing on air or doing something more strategic than talking about dealers and the price of an IC7300. Anyway, all right, guys, 73s, all the best. 20 minutes,